Hello and welcome to a special episode 5 of Locke Loses at Pokémon. Today we'll be playing a deck for the first time, so we're going to get to learn it together. The list is kind of special. It has a name, Naughty Swampert, and the reason it's called this is because a certain Redditor on the Pokemon TCGO forum, whom I will properly accredit once I hear back from him as to how he would like to be accredited. I will do so in the subtitles and in the description of the video. This Redditor took a look at a certain trainer, Tierno, who lets you draw 3 cards, and realized that there was a similar supporter, as a matter of fact, an exact same supporter with a different name in the same format, Charin. So, he realized that it was possible to play a deck that has essentially 8 Ancestral Recalls in it, which seems good, right? Well, this is the 3rd iteration of that deck, and as you can see by looking at the list here, there's no Charins and only 3 Tiernos, so it's gone through a bit of revisions. Nonetheless, this is the list that we will be playing today and seeing how it goes. The deck is built around Swampert, a Pokemon from Primal Clash with an ancient trait. His ancient trait is Alpha Growth. Whenever you attach an energy card to him, you may attach 2 instead of 1. His Hydro Pump attack does 30 additional damage for each water energy you have attached to him. So, if you can attach, say, 4 water energy over the course of 2 turns to him, then he is going to be doing 40 plus 30 times 4, which is 160 damage, which is definitely not bad. His ability, Diving Search, allows you to tutor for a card before you attack and put it on top of your deck after shuffling it. That ability itself is pretty strong, and the idea that he originally had was to abuse it by having so many draw supporters in his deck that he could always be guaranteed to draw the card he wants every turn, until he decided that Empoleon was the better way to go. His diving draw ability, showcased previously on Locke Loses at Pokémon, allows you to discard a card from your hand in order to draw 2 cards. So, if you have Empoleon and Swampert in play at the same time, you can guarantee to look through your deck for a single card that you want and get it every single turn. Originally, when he tried the Empoleon line, he attempted Archie's Ace in the Hole and tried to be tricky with it, but in the end decided that a standard 2-1-2 mini evolutionary line was the way to go. And if you recall from my Miltank deck in a previous episode, the 4-1-4 and 2-1-2 chain is exactly the evolutionary chain that I run in that deck, so I'm fairly familiar with how it works and how to make it happen. So that's why I'm playing this deck today. In addition to the Swampert and Empoleon evolutionary lines, we have a single Execute, whose propagation ability allows us to bring him back into our hand from our discard pile, which we will abuse with Empoleon's Diving Draw to discard him, draw 2 cards, and then get him right back in our hand. Our A-Spec is an unusual one, Scramble Switch. Since once we have our engine set up, can tutor and draw for anything we want, we have no need for computer search. So, Scramble Switch will allow us to switch an active Pokemon with one of our bench Pokemon and move all the energy that we want from that Pokemon onto the new one. So, if Swampert is in danger of getting 2-shotted, he can take his 1 shot, then we can Scramble Switch in a different Swampert and move all that energy and attack fresh. This deck has a lot of draw effects, which is exactly what we want. It's going to run 2 Acrobites, which let us look at the top 2 cards of our deck and put one of them into our hand, discarding the other. 3 Dive Balls, which will let us get any Pokemon in our deck except for Execute. 3 Ethers. Ethers let you reveal the top card of your deck, and if that card is a basic energy card, attach it to one of your Pokemon. What we're going to be doing, if you haven't already figured it out, is use Diving Search to get a water energy, put it on top of our deck, and then ramp for free with Ether. 2 Professor's Letters to get us some of the 14 water energy that we run in this deck to power Swampert's Hydro Pump. We're going to use 4 copies of Rare Candy to skip the Stage 1 evolutions for both our Mudkip and our Empoleon evolutionary lines. Startling Megaphone will protect us from Garbodor's Garbotoxin, which will shut off both Swampert and Empoleon's ability. Now, Garbotoxin will not stop Alpha Growth, because that is an ancient trait, not an ability, but it will shut off Diving Search, and it'll stop us from being naughty. So, Startling Megaphone will keep us in that game. 4 Versus Seekers, 1 Lysander. 1 Lysander's trump card, because we're going to draw a lot of cards, and we don't want to end up decking ourselves out for the loss. 1 Pokemon Fan Club to get our Execute or the beginning of our evolutionary lines. 1 copy of Professor Sycamore, because sometimes your hand just sucks. 3 Tiernos, as previously mentioned. 1 copy of Rough Seas. Rough Seas, when it's in play once per turn, you can heal 30 damage from all of your water and lightning Pokemon. 1 Training Center, which will give an additional 30 hit points to our Stage 1 and 2 Pokemon, which will put Swampert at 160 HP and make him a little bit harder to one-shot. And 2 Silver Bangles. Silver Bangle is important to put on Swampert because we can get to, as we counted earlier, 160 damage really quickly. Against an EX, that puts us up to 190, and that EX just got one-shotted. So, this is Naughty Swampert. Let's take it out for a spin and see what happens. Our opponent has Lightning and Psychic in his deck. That could be one of several things. My first guess would be some sort of a Manectric list. I don't think I want to start with a Mudkip, especially with no draw effects in my opening hand, so let's sacrifice the Execute. He's going to take an early card, but it's not a problem. Half this deck is draw effects, though. I can't fathom why I keep having none in my opening hand. Mudkip on the bench. Deoxys. Ooh, okay, we're up against a Plasma deck. That makes sense. So Deoxys is basically a purple bard that buffs the damage of Team Plasma Pokemon that belong to him, and Helix Force just does 60 damage if he has any plasma energy attached to it. Not the greatest attack in the world, but Deoxys is primarily a bench presence. He's not primarily an attacker. Alright. Battle Compressor. Interesting. So he's basically threatening me with that Lysander's trump card he just threw down, because he knows what Execute's used for. That looked like a pretty good hand. What was the problem? I guess he wanted basic Pokemon. Yep. Lugia. Okay, so this is a speed version. Alright, Chorus Machine lets him tutor for Plasma Energy. He's going to attach it to Lugia. Lugia's ability is whenever you knock out an opponent's Pokemon, you get to take an additional prize card. However, his only attack requires you to discard Plasma Energy to do so. Now we have no draw effects. Insanity, I tell you. All we really can do is just start getting Mudkip ready and end our turn. Hopefully we'll see an N or something that yeah, no energy or anything. Okay, we have gas now. It's rare candy. And make Swampert. The Professor's Letter to get water energy. Energy him up. I keep accidentally clicking no because I'm used to yes being on the left side, no being on the right. Well, that was unfortunate. I am, however, going to use Diving Search to set up my next draw. And that is going to be... I forget, is there an escape rope in this list? Escape rope would be optimal. I'm not seeing it. I'm also not seeing switch. So all of our mobility is in our prize cards. Alright, so I just need a draw. Let me find Professor Sycamore. And that's all I'm going to do in my turn. I really would like to get going before he Lysanders up my Swampert, but can't have everything. Building up that plasma energy. As expected, there is Professor Sycamore. Now, what is one of the cards we absolutely want to draw with Sycamore? Mudkip, maybe? Yeah. Let's get a Mudkip and start building that back up. Alright, we're going to attach some energy to Swampert, and this time we are going to click the correct button, yes. Now let's see 7 new cards. Alright, there's the Mudkip that we had expected. There's Lysander's trump card if I'm really concerned about his discard pile. Spoiler alert, I am not. There's another Swampert. Alright, and we wait a turn. I'm holding the Rough Seas primarily because he does have a Thunderous on his side. And he can use that to heal, and he can also knock it out with Plasma Frigate or Frozen, whatever the other Plasma Stadium is, and I can use Rough Seas essentially as a counterspell to that. Where's the Seeker? Is he going to... Oh, okay. Yeah, he wants to draw. That makes perfect sense. Escape rope. Interesting. So, what is he going to bring up with escape rope? If he has double colorless, it could be Lugia. Does he have energy in his discard pile? He does. Okay. I deduce that he is going to be bringing up Thunderous. Regardless, I think my play is still to sacrifice this Mudkip. I'm not prepared to get one-shotted by Lugia. Well, it wouldn't one-shot. No, it would one-shot me. He's got a muscle band on it. Yep. As expected, Thunderous. Alright, so he's got multiple Lugias ready to go. Alright, let's put this energy on Mudkip so we can retreat him. Play Rough Seas. Heal up Mudkip. Well, I clicked the wrong thing again. Alright, so we're going to retreat him first. And bring up Swampert. Use Rough Seas. I would like a Lysander, but I don't know how to draw it. Well, let's use our Diving Search and see what we want to draw with Tierno. Rare Candy's not a bad thing to get another Swampert in play. I really want Lysander. Okay, so yeah, let's get the Rare Candy for now, so that we have a backup Swampert. Draw the Rare Candy and two others with Tierno. Use another Diving Search and set up our draw for next turn, which is gonna be next turn's gonna be too late for the Lysander because we're gonna yeah, we're gonna lose our Swampert. Megaphone would be nice. Yeah. He's overextended on muscle bands, so yeah, let us do a whole bunch of damage to Thunderous. 2 Versus Seekers. If he has any energy in hand, either the Lugia with the Muscle Band will one-shot Swampert. The other one will two-shot him. Or if he has a Deoxys in hand, they can put on the bench to increase damage. So, there's decent chance Swampert gets one-shotted here. Damn. He's going to draw 3. He's going to draw 3 again. Jeez. Okay. And there's Deoxys. Yep. I lose 2 roller skates. And another Deoxys. Good night. Yep. This is what Team Plasma decks do. When, you know, they cheat at roller skates. Yep. What is the play here? Sacrifice, execute, and build up Swampert? Yeah. We know our draw next turn is not going to help us. Because now, we are beyond caring about Muscle Band. Yeah, we have to sacrifice the execute and try to rebuild. What are my supporter options? I don't want to dump the whole thing with Sycamore. Let's use our diving search and see what can get us out of this jam. Likely not anything. Let's start building up our new Swampert as much as we can. So we need a Professor's Letter. Grab Tierno. Draw a Professor's Letter and see what else we get. Alright, yes is on the right side. There we go. We've got the Startling Megaphone. We might as well use it. Not that it matters all that much. Rare candy for Empoleon next turn, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. That is going to be the end of my turn. I assume he has a Versus Seeker to get Lysander. Oh, he doesn't have Lysander in his discard pile. I'm going to Colress up another Plasma so he can keep killing with Lugia. Yep, and there's Lysander. And I have lost this game. This deck is very hard to play if you have no draw cards in your opening hand. Basically, when I play this deck again, I will auto-concede if I don't have any draw cards in my opening hand, otherwise it doesn't have a chance. Alright. What would I versus Seeker? Professor Sycamore. I have 22 cards in hand. I'd lose my trump card. 1 versus Seeker. In hand. 1 versus Seeker. I thought I saw... No, I just had... Okay, so I still have 2 versus Seekers out there somewhere. Yeah. See... Discard it. Turn it to the top of your deck. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is Ether. See if we can get a water energy. We cannot. So we're going to Versus Seeker for Professor Sycamore and Prey. Because these 3 cards aren't presently doing anything for me. There's the other Versus Seeker. I took 10 damage on account of the... What do I have down there? I have a... Okay. Let's take the Marsh Stomp. Oh, no, the whole reason I did that was to get more damage with attack commands. I'm an idiot. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, only 80 damage. And I can't retreat him. So, yeah, this is looking sad. I still have my draw. I'm gonna discard Marsh Stomp because I'm a friggin' idiot. There's Piplup. Okay. Yeah. Not good, but... We could two-shot Lugia if Lugia wasn't gonna outright destroy us next turn. Lugia wins once he knocks me out, assuming he can get Plasma Energy. Yep. So, for better or worse, that is Naughty Swampert. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.